Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Kirbicast, a monthly video game podcast hosted by yours truly, Gab, the KiRBiZOiD. Today we'll be talking about video games such as Pikmin 4, mobile games such as Pokémon Sleep, and other news such as Twitter. Because, god damn it, it really just... Let this thing die! You know what I'm saying? I was about to say chat, I keep forgetting that I can't say that when I'm not streaming. Bear with me, I'm tired. But you know what? We gotta talk about stuff. It's that time of the month again. But hey, for those who don't know what this time of the month is, this is the YouTube podcast that can't be surpassed, and the host of the show, mobile games. I hardly know her. It's the Kirbicast. Hello, and most importantly, hello. Welcome to the Kirbicast, everybody. For those who don't know, I am Gab the KiRBiZOiD, and I like video games. I like talking about video games, and, well, god damn it, this has been a weird week. There's a fly. Oh, okay, I'm about to kill this fucking fly. You ready for this? You're ready for this? This is a great start to a podcast, is when I get to murder an innocent creature. Flies aren't really innocent. I got it. Sick. Smacked it with my... Oh, you bitch. Okay. Well, I guess that is the running gag for this episode, is if that fly ever comes back on my screen, I'm gonna beat the shit out of it. God damn it. But hello. I guess, I don't know, flies are annoying. It's summer. It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for bugs to come into my house. Actually, Pikmin 4 release night, which we'll get into later. Spider. I was laying right next to a spider on my bed. I've never screamed that loud since, I saw Colleen Ballinger's apology video. We'll also get into that later. I'm ridiculously late to it. We're not gonna go too deep into it. I just want to talk about it. Look, I do these like once a month, so bear with me. Hi. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this month has been crazy. The month of July, 2023. It has been a interesting one. Not a lot has happened outside of Pikmin 4. One thing that has happened, and you will notice this, that I didn't talk about watching a movie. The reason I did that is because we're not going to be talking about movies for the foreseeable future. Because, for those who don't know, the writer strikes that have been going on recently, I figured I don't want to promote oh, the fly's back. I'm gonna try and kill it while I talk. I got it. Probably don't want to move a candle. That's a bad idea. I think the fly is dead, so I guess you'll hear that more. So, for those who don't know, the writer strikes essentially and if you don't know, and if you haven't been living under a fucking rock, the writer strikes is something that's going on because writers in the film industry they're still working under a very old, very dated, and now a very, let's just say, unpleasant structure in how their jobs work. In the sense of, if they write a show and it gets on streaming services, they don't get any money. They don't get any money if the streaming service decides to, push that content. The content gets a lot of views and it pushes a platform a lot years after the show is done. Writers don't get any of that money at all, which is rough because a lot of writers are not doing the best financially. They're not. It's not good. And so they decided to go on strike, and also, with the rise of AI, writers want to make sure that none of their work, or at least they want the basic right to opt out of their writing to be used in AI, to help with AI, and also they want to make sure AI just isn't a thing when it comes to writing shows, which is understandable, because for those who don't know, AI can't make anything new. Literally all AI, and it's interesting because a lot of people's arguments about AI when it comes to, oh, but AI is just so good for, it's so good for stuff like, good for stuff like writing shows, because nowadays people just make remakes and they rehash all this stuff. I think AI is going to do a better job than them. Do you guys not realize that AI the only thing that AI can do is just rehash old topics? And also, ChatGPT is a model, and again, I don't know if this is still the case, but at least from what I've gathered, ChatGPT only thinks one word at a time. It can't like create anything new. It can't like formulate an entire sentence like thinking about the sentence. It thinks about it one word at a time and just does what best would fit. It's like ChatGPT it's a robot that's doing the ultimate form of improv, but it always forgets what it said and what it's going to say. It's got the memory span of a goldfish or a 5-year-old on TikTok, I guess. But yeah, and so they don't want that writing their shows. Also, just the simple fact that it would take their jobs that they're already not getting paid enough for. And people like Disney, Warner Brothers, all the major companies that are making stuff, they're like, but I like my money. We have to keep paying our CEOs infinite money. But like, we're paying them money that we're taking from you. Why would we want to stop that? We want more euphoria. Please, we're just poor billionaires. We're innocent billionaires trying to take every penny out of your paycheck so that we can afford major actors 30-aughts. We just want to do that, you know? And so recently, it has gotten to the point that the SAG-AFTRA, which is the actors, it's like an actors union, pretty much. They're now on strike in as well as the writers union. And so that means, for those who don't know, all current productions are currently on hold until this gets resolved. And really fucked up thing that happened recently. Again, I don't know if this is fake or not. From what I've seen, it's real, so please bear with me. But there was one of the executives of like one of the companies was just like, yeah, we're just gonna wait until they can't afford rent anymore, and then they'll come crawling back. That's like cartoon villain levels of like fucked up. Billionaires are fucking stupid, and we'll get to Elon Musk. Because man, when you talk about stupid billionaires, you can't go without talking about the stupid billionaire Elon Musk that emanates from him after spending too long trying to make a shitty car. I don't know. Musk is so fucking... I hate him. I hate Elon Musk so much. I can make a whole episode about Elon Musk and how much I fucking hate him at this point, but whatever. He make electric car, but also he make monopoly out of electric cars, so is he really a good person? No. But whatever. Today, guys, so because of this, all the shows that were currently in production are on hold, and one that I'm actually very relieved is on hold is Deadpool 3, because if it got finished filming before the SAG-AFTRA shit, that would mean that like Deadpool 3 would have had to be made without like any writing revisions, and that would have sucked ass. That would have been awful. Honest to God, I don't know what I would have. That would just been, it would have been a bad movie. That's it. Because Deadpool movies, like the biggest value of them is the writing and the dialogue of the characters. And so not having a writer to revise it is that's like the biggest red flag that you could ever put on a Deadpool movie, in my opinion. So very happy that it's on hold, so that when the writers hopefully get, like, you would think the very basic demands that they could ask, considering the modern society of film and like online media and digital media, you know, you hope that's what they get. I don't think they should expect anything less, in my opinion. That's it. I don't think they deserve anything less. I think they deserve what they want, if not more. Because Christ, we're just easily seeing how billionaires and CEOs have just been abusing just workers. And like, not even in the film industry, just in general. And it took this long for somebody to finally speak up about it. So yeah, long story short, because of me wanting to, because of my, I don't know exactly what I want to say, but because I support the writer and now the actor strikes that are happening now, I am not watching currently any other movies, which means It sucks because I really wanted to watch Indiana Jones, but I made the decision to boycott all movies. I wanted to watch Barbie too, just because I've heard it's a batshit insane movie, which, fuck, that would have been fun to watch, but I'm not going to watch any movies. I'm not saying you shouldn't watch any movies. This is a personal decision that I'm making entirely on myself, and so that puts a big gap in stuff to talk about for the podcast, because for those who don't know, this is a podcast once a month where I play, or when I talk about the video games, movies, and game news that I have digested and have absorbed over the past month. And so, because I didn't watch shit, what am I going to talk about? Well, viewers at home are taking a walk or taking a shit while listening to this. I don't know you. I don't know any of you. Because of that, I am going to be I'm going to be shooting the shit, and this month an interesting development has taken place where I decided to get back into mobile games purely because I fucking hate Twitter, and we'll get into that in a bit. I'm wanting to leave Twitter so bad, and I have so many good excuses. But man, I just don't. I'm just worried that I'm gonna miss something. I'm worried I'm gonna miss like an update from a creator that I'm wanting to hear, but I don't know. Who knows? The biggest way, so like I don't want to use Twitter, and so I think now I'm finally filling in the void with mobile games, and it's also a lot of mobile games actually kind of hooked me when it came to like YouTube advertisements, and so I'm like, oh, I might actually want to look into these because these actually look pretty interesting, and so. Yeah, I played a bunch of mobile games today, and I'll be talking about, instead of movies, I'll be talking about my usual max 3 actual video games with, I know that mobile games are video games, but like actual video games, not ones that you have to like watch ads to boost your performance or whatever. Yeah, some video games do that, but still. Not like free-to-play video games or anything like that. I'm going to be talking about 3 actual video games, and then, since I'm not talking about movies, because I fully support the writer strikes and the actor strikes now, and so I want to show my support by not talking about any movies or watching any movies until, they come to a conclusion. We'll be talking about 3 mobile games this month, and then we'll figure something out for the rest of the months that this... unfortunately will probably take place, because something tells me this is going to be a very long and arduous battle for them. So, again, please support the writers and actors any way you can, because they're human beings and their basic rights are being fucking violated by greedy fucking billionaires. Fuck those guys. So instead I'm going to be talking about mobile games. Who needs Barbenheimer when you have Flappy Bird? Hell yeah. But yeah, we're going to be going into the game stuff right now, and while we talk about them, yeah, just know that today we're just going to be talking about games, then mobile games, and then the game news, so not much has changed, and if anything, I'll have more to talk about with the mobile games, but whatever, it's going to be it's actually going to be a pretty full episode, except for game news, but you'll find out. Let's get started with the games I played in the month of July. And by that I mean welcome back to my Tears of the Kingdom corner. This is the corner in my room where I talk about Tears of the Kingdom because, yeah, this game's gonna take a while to beat, my guy. With the podcast, I want to spend a bit of time. If I play Tears of the Kingdom that month, I want to talk not about the game itself, but I want to talk about a portion of the game that I experienced during that month and just kind of go off of that. And so the most notable thing that has happened since I played Tears of the Kingdom, and I feel like the game's been out for a few months, so it's not an end game spoiler, but it is a part of the main story. I'm going to be talking about the Wind Temple, or the Rito story, if you don't know what that is. And so, yes, I played through the Wind Temple area of the game during this month, and I have some thoughts about it, and I'm concerned. It's not that I don't think Zelda's a good game. I still think it's great. I think it's a great game. But I'm worried because the Wind Temple was okay. Is that okay to say? It was okay. So, what do I mean by the Wind Temple just being okay? Well, for those who haven't played Tears of the Kingdom somehow, which is fine, one of the single best parts of Tears of the Kingdom, in my opinion, is what I was talking about before. It's the rune abilities that you have in this game, because compared to Breath of the Wild, it's like way better. I always am using them, and I'm using every single one. It feels like there's way more unique instances where I can use each individual rune, and it always feels like I'm constantly using all of my abilities. Like I'm always trying to use them, when in comparison to Breath of the Wild, I'm kind of not. I'm not really doing it that much. And so that's what I feel like. I feel like it's the selling point with Tears of the Kingdom is these new runes like Ascend, Rewind, or Recall, maybe. The move, the fuse, all those things. And so I am very... because of the best part, in conjunction with them is the new dungeons in this game. I think they're called shrines. Again, it has been a hot second since I've played, so bear with me. But shrines in Tears of the Kingdom are easily some of my favorite parts of the entire game, because they're very challenging puzzles that aren't linear, because they depend on how you use the fuse abilities or the ascend ability to solve puzzles. And with how open those mechanics are, there's like a million ways to do these puzzles. There's a million different ways to do them. And I really, really like that. I really like there's one where it's like you have to set it up to play baseball. There's one where you have to ascend, you have to like build platforms and then ascend onto them in order to get up somewhere, or or like build something, and then like not everyone's going to build the exact same thing, when in comparison to Breath of the Wild, it was very linear with its dungeon structure. And by that I mean just the shrines. There weren't any dungeons in Breath of the Wild except for the divine beasts, which in comparison to the main game was their own thing. It really, and I think that's my biggest problem, it really feels like in Tears of the Kingdom, the Wind Temple is like a divine beast, but a lot more boring, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does, but it really feels like it's just a dungeon that you just kind of explore, but it doesn't take advantage of your abilities that you have. It just takes your ability to explore a place, and that's really it. I don't even think there were times I really even used Ascend at all. But like there's like very few times where I actually used like any of my abilities in any... Oh, my dog's an asshole. There's like very few times where my abilities were really tested, or my creativity was really tested in my problem solving. It really just felt like... There's not really a sweet way to put this. It really just felt kind of boring compared to the rest of the game, and especially compared to the shrines in Tears of the Kingdom, where they test your problem solving, they test a bunch of stuff. The Wind Temple really felt like it was just, hi, that ability you get from the new character? Just like use that a few times to explore the area, and that's all we're gonna test you on. Also, just be good at like searching through a map, be good at combing through an area, and then you're good to go. And now, at the end of the day, it is just a dungeon. I'm just worried that was like one of the big 4 set pieces that you do for the main story. Everything else is much more exciting than the Wind Temple. Going to the Wind Temple, where I had to use... I don't even remember the new character's name, it's been so long. Using the Rito Boy's ability to blow gusts of wind forward. It's super cool, it's super fun. But man, it's like, yeah, like getting there was super fun because you're using a bunch of trampolines, and then you have to chain that with the wind ability to get past far gaps, and then do some like aerial acrobatics and do some like some platforming to get to the top. That was fun. Like, yeah, it was fun. And then even like having my little like ally character do some fights with me, and then he would shoot a few headshots that would have saved me in some situations. That's cool. You don't ever really get to do that in a Zelda game, and so that's super cool. I think that's cool. But like the dungeon itself is just kind of fucking boring. I'm sorry to say it. It does get saved by the boss though. It's this ice centipede kind of thing, and it looks super cool. I love the design of the boss. Visually, it looks so fucking cool. And then the fight itself is pretty easy, but again, I had a Lionel bow, which if you're not like looking for Lionels like outright, it'll be a much different game for you, but it's a very easy boss. but at the same time, it was a lot fun. It was super fun to do because you're forced to always be in the air. You have to fight it purely in the air. You have to like wait for its like weak spots to show and then shoot it with some bows and then, you know, hit the weak points. But then when you broke through their weak points, you're able to like glide through them. They were just giant holes in the creature, and so you could like do a thing where you, oh, I gotta get out of the way, and so I have to fly through the hole and then like prepare my shot for the second weak spot, and so it gives me a better vantage point. That shit's super fun. Are you kidding me? That's fun. That is fun. The boss is fun, but the dungeon to get to it, it was the same structure as it was the exact same structure as the Divine Beast, where you have to explore the map and get like and activate 5 mechanisms in order to get to the boss. The temple itself was probably the most boring thing I've done in Tears of the Kingdom so far. Just kind of sucked. The road to it and then the boss after it were really fun, and I had a good time. They were very unique, very different. But man, the dungeon itself, couldn't care less about it. And here's the thing, I don't remember Zelda, I don't remember in Zelda, except for maybe when I played through the Minish Cap, I remember this really cool, like the first dungeon in that game, super cool, because of like the giant rolling barrel that you have to like traverse and then weaken it a bit so that you can turn it around and gain access to new entrances and new exits. That's super cool. That was fun. But in Tears of the Kingdom, it's just kind of explore the map, do very light puzzle solving, and then just activate like 6 things in the map, and then you're good to go. That's just boring, in my opinion. It's boring. And then the boss fight, super cool way to end it off. And then it's just like, well, back to the game. I don't know. And maybe I'm being a bit too critical of it, because it feels like all it is just a reason to get to the boss, but at the same time, you could have taken, like, you have like mini dungeons, the shrines, that do so much more, you know? And I don't know really what I would have wanted. Okay, I know what I want. What I would have wanted is I would have wanted some, like, literally any actual puzzles in the area. I wish there was like a reason for me to like build something, you know? Maybe it's like, oh, you have to build this or find this secret by ascending up here, or you have to, there was like one thing where it's like, oh, look at this spinning thing, you just rewind it, and so that you can get over it, and that's it. That was like the only thing, and even then I brute forced it. I didn't even do it correctly. So Bob's your uncle, I guess. But I don't know. Honestly, this is the only time in Tears of the Kingdom where I'm genuinely kind of bored on it. The game itself is still really fun, and exploring the game is still a lot of fun. Found a bunch of really cool bosses on the way. I think I've said this before, but I fought this really cool flame dragon guy. He was super cool. I don't remember. It's like a fire Gleeok, I think is the name for it. That was super fun. Had a good time there. Wind dungeon? No, I'm good. Wind temple? Not my thing. And that makes me worried because I have to do that like 3 more times in order to progress the story too. If it was like a side dungeon thing and it was meh, I'd be like, okay. But it's like, why is like the big location in like the main story the one part I honestly don't like about Tears of the Kingdom? That makes me a bit worried. But the rest of the game is good, so it's not really the biggest complaint, but it just kind of sucks because it's like the most mediocre part of the game. But hey, it's better to be at worst one part of the game be mediocre than like, you know, more than one part of the game being mediocre. I think it's just because it's the main story. It has a lot more, I think there's a lot more pressure on it, in my opinion. And when the main dungeon of the game is not nearly as good as the shrines, you're just like, well, why didn't they just make it with the same creativity as they did for the shrines? I don't get it. I don't get it. Even the caves are more fun. That's insane. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's my it's like my only real complaint about Tears of the Kingdom right now. It's just the first main story dungeon I did, kind of lame, but then that makes me worried, because I think the other story dungeons are gonna suck ass, and I'm worried, because probably that might be true. The GameCube is a very precious console. It is the console of the first game I ever played, which I've said on the first episode of the podcast, Mario Kart Double Dash. That is the first ever video game I ever played. As a kid, I was like 3. I wasn't good at it. I was not good at it. But that is a memory that'll live on in my head forever, and so I've always had this fascination with the GameCube, and one of the games on the GameCube that I barely thought to try was Pikmin, specifically the first one. And so recently on stream, I did an 8-hour stream where I beat Pikmin 1 in one sitting. And it was super fun. I had a great time, and especially Eli, if you're listening to this, hello. Eli is our resident Pikmin expert here on the channel, and is also an amazing mod for my community. I love you, Eli. You're sick in the brain. Eli helped me out, and Eli pretty much guided me so that I didn't suck too bad. And man, Pikmin 1, I'd say that's a solid 4 stars. I know I discussed my 5-point system, and I feel like the 5-point system is confusing in a sense, because it's not like, it feels like it's different than any other system. So from now on, I'm sorry, I'm like tired. I'm really tired. It's been a rough week. I'm already 20 hours into Pikmin 4, guys, and it's only 2 days since the game. It's only 2 days since the game came out. It's the Sunday after Pikmin 4, and I've already put like 20 hours into it, and I want to keep playing, and I'm just so tired. Poor me, man. I'm such an my life is so problematic. But I do recognize that I'm a bit groggy with my speech, so I'm terribly sorry. But Pikmin 1, we played through it. Eli helped me out, and to make the point system easier, I'm just gonna say like 4 stars instead of like 4 out of 5, because I feel like if I say stars, it's a lot more easy to understand. Pikmin 1 is an easy 4-star game. Easy 4 stars. I would say the only thing keeping it from being 5 stars is the Pikmin AI. So for those who don't know, Pikmin is a game where you control tiny little guys, tiny little flower boys maybe? They're most likely asexual. Little flower guys, and the little flower guys, I say that as a gender neutral term, I say that to like everybody, but the flower guys, dude, these guys are sick. They're cute, they loaf around, and you can throw them at guys. It's awesome. And so the game becomes this little like, the main point of the game is using the Pikmin to find pieces of your spaceship and do it before your oxygen runs out, so that you can leave the planet and not die, preferably. And we were able to not have the bad ending. We beat the game for the first time in 20 in-game days. So that's 10 short from the 30 max that you have to do, which is super cool. But the game becomes, I feel like after your first playthrough, you kind of get a feeling for the game, and then your second playthrough, and, you know, it's a very short game. Again, my first playthrough was about 8 hours long, which is still a lot, but all things considered, it's actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad. Because later on, you know, if it hooks you, your whole thing is now going to be, okay, how do I min-max the absolute fuck out of this? How do I min-max my way to, goodness, how am I going to min-max my way to get all the parts in as little time as possible? Now it's the high score chase, which normally you don't see. I haven't had the urge to do since, like, you know, attempting to speedrun like a Mario stage or a Hot Lava stage. Hot Lava's fun. It's a fun game. You should play it, but nah. Pikmin 1 is fun, and I think it's just the simple fact that it's so replayable, just for this like drive of, okay, I want to play this and beat it as fast as I can, as efficiently as I can, and with as little Pikmin deaths as possible. When I first played Pikmin 1, you can see it at the end of the stream, I killed like 600 Pikmin or 400 Pikmin, That's a lot. That's so many unnecessary deaths. And so immediately like the next day, I decided to do another run. I beat the game in 15 days, which is half the day limit, which is super cool. And then I think I only lost 125. So like that's a huge improvement from why it did. Okay, I thought the music stopped. I'm sorry. It was really cool to see the gradual improvement that I got, and I feel like if I'm ever bored and I want something really like chill to do, Pikmin 1, weirdly enough, the game where you have to get spaceship parts and try to use Pikmin and not kill them before you yourself die of lack of oxygen. It's fun how games work like that. It's awesome. But it's a fun game. It's fun. The only complaint I have out of Pikmin 1 is the Pikmin AI. And again, this is the first game. I'd be damn impressed if they got this right the first try on the GameCube, no less. There was no game like this, and there still is no game like this outside of just Pikmin. I tried to look this up, but I think Tinykin is the only game that's like Pikmin related, and even then it's more of a 3D platformer than a Pikmin-like, where it's like, it's not really a real-time strategy, it's not a strategy game. It's a platformer, but it still has like the Pikmin aesthetic, which is fine. It's super cool, and if you want to use the Pikmin aesthetic and not make it a Pikmin-like game, super fine. It's not like every game that had paper as their main art style didn't have to make it an RPG like Paper Mario. Gaming has no rules, nor should it. Gaming should have, and especially when you're making a game, no limit on the creativity, but still, why has no one tried to make the fucking Pikmin 1 gameplay, or like the Pikmin? Why has no one made a Pikmin like? I probably just haven't seen it. If you know any and are listening to the YouTube version, hi Spotify listeners, how are you? Click the link in the description, or not click the link, Christ. Comment down below if you're watching the YouTube version. Do you know any actual Pikmin-like games? And let me know what they are and how I can find them, because I would really appreciate it, because, and we'll get into it, Pikmin 4 is very addicting. When it comes to Pikmin 1's Pikmin AI, it is 100 little guys that are following you that you can barely control outside of the swarm mechanic, which is super fun, and it's a shame that they only did that for the first 2 games. The charge mechanic in 3 and 4, they're fine, but it's not nearly as like controllable as you can in 1. But then again, I feel like the obstacles in 1 and 2 required that swarm mechanic that I don't think is exactly necessary. I feel like 3 and 4's gameplay is revolved around the new mechanics, so all things considered, at least the gameplay wouldn't have felt better with the swarm mechanic. I feel like Pikmin 4 with the swarm mechanic wouldn't be as good. In my opinion. That's probably just me. But the Pikmin AI, these Pikmin are great. I love them. But man, do they piss me off sometimes. Pikmin 1's AI is so interesting. A Pikmin, if you just walk by and a place of like some blades of grass where you can get nectar, the Pikmin that are in your party, they will leave your party to automatically get the nectar, which is so annoying because, you know, you didn't make them do that. Also, Pikmin trip. They will trip, it'll take them like 3 seconds to get back up, and then, unless they're a flower Pikmin, they're not going to catch up to you. Oh yeah, Pikmin will sometimes fall so far behind if they're not flowered. They won't just be like right behind you, and so you have to wait for them. And then that way, they'll get stuck on geometry, they'll get stuck on like a corner of a wall, and then they'll just like stay there. And if you're not careful, they'll just die by the end of the day if you didn't get them. What else? Fucking, yeah, if you try to walk on a bridge in this game, specifically the bridge that you need to get to at the last area of the game, I forget the name of it, but the last area of the game where you fight Emperor Bulblax, there's a bridge there. If you try to take more than like 25 Pikmin and they're not blues through that bridge, Pikmin are going to drown, and there's nothing you can do about it. It is fucked up. It is so fucked up. that is like, in that last area, Emperor Bulblax can suck my god. It can suck every orifice. I don't like that boss at all. It's frustrating. It's just a rage-inducing boss. It literally does King DDD's up special, and it'll just jump, and if it's lucky enough, it'll jump and kill all 100 of your Pikmin. That's why I lost so many Pikmin, was because I would lose like 50 at a time, because Emperor Bulblax would just decide to jump into the air and then just kill all of them, because he's just like, oh, I'm not, yeah, it's just that time of day. It's just that time of day. It's annoying. That also, it's just like, that last level, it's not, I don't know, it's rough because I don't think it's unfair, because you can plan according to it, and I eventually did, but I still, I don't know. I'm so loopy. This is not gonna bode well for the rest of the podcast, but whatever, baby, we'll figure it out. Outside of that, the Pikmin 1 AI, the Pikmin will just do stupid things, and that'll hinder your gameplay. And then the game, it feels like when you look at the scoreboard, the game actively chastises you. Is that the word, chastise? Yeah, chastises you? I don't know if that's the right word. Whatever, we'll go with it. The game actively chastises you, oh, you just let 5 Pikmin die. Why did you do that? And it's like, no, it wasn't my fault. You're the one that had I'm pretty sure that Pikmin decided to walk off the bridge on their own. That was no way my intention. But they decided, hey, I'm going to walk so wide of we're going to walk in such of a wide pack that some of us are going to fall off a bridge and drown to death. And we're going to blame you for that. It's annoying. And I feel like it's hard to explain that without just looking at my stream. You'll see my anger at some points. There are just some points in this game where I just get actively angry at how easily the Pikmin can die. But that's the whole point of the game. It's the whole point of the game, is that you have so many Pikmin, and if you're not careful, they're tiny guys, you're fighting giant monsters. These guys will die if you're not careful. That's the whole point. And so sometimes I just get really angry when Pikmin die. I still do this with Pikmin 4, which we'll talk about right after this, but man, I'd get angry. I'd get angry, dude. It's insane. And I get angry relatively easily if the game annoys me enough, which again, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm the most ragey when it comes to video games, but you catch me at the wrong time, I'm gonna get very, very angry, I feel. And so, yeah, the game just is a little infuriating with the AI of the Pikmin, because half the time they'll do shit you don't want them to, and then you have to corral them, and then they'll just do it anyways, and then it just gets frustrating. Unactive Pikmin, if there is a task to do, and this still happens in Pikmin 4, if you try to disband the Pikmin and have them separate from you, if there's something in a 5-foot radius of them, they'll just do it. If they're oh, we've just been disengaged, oh my god, is that some blades of grass? I'm gonna go there. Or, oh my gosh, I'm disengaged. Okay, that means I'm not supposed to do anything. Oh my god, is that a flower pellet? Is that a fruit that I'm not supposed to carry? Oh my god, I want to carry that fruit. Let's carry that fruit, baby. It's annoying. It's very annoying, especially if you want a specific type of Pikmin to lift something like fire Pikmin. I had the second area of the game, I think. Yeah, the second area that's a cave. You need you need red Pikmin, because there's a lot of pathways that are with fire, and so you just have to fucking you need the red Pikmin to carry them, so that when they pass by the fire on the route to the spaceship, they don't have to worry about they don't gotta worry about getting lit on fire, lit a flame. But no, if I disengage some yellow Pikmin, they'll be okay, I get you, I'll carry it, bro, don't worry. And then they proceed to get lit on fire, and I'm not sorry for them. I'm not, dude, not at all. But yeah, I don't know, Pikmin 1, I'm rambling, and I know that, but again, I'm sleepy. It's 8 o'clock. I want to go to bed. No. Pikmin 1 is easy 4 stars out of 5. But god damn it, that Pikmin AI. If only they made a game with better Pikmin AI and pathfinding. Man, I wonder what game that could be. Did you guys know that Pikmin 4 came out? Pikmin 4 is a game that's real, and a lot of people thought it was like the most infamous form of, I believe the term is vaporware, where a game is announced. We know that it's in development, and it's going to get made, but we just don't fucking know when. We just don't know when it's gonna happen. Pikmin 4 is that, but it actually came out. And you can watch Arlo's reactions and all that stuff, and you'll feel like you want to buy the game just seeing Arlo's reaction. Also, this is at the time when Arlo apparently got incapacitated for something going on with his neck. So if you could do me a favor, don't say that like Gab sent ya. Don't say that. That's fucking dumb. If you could just tweet at Arlo and just say get better soon at Arlo stuff, I think on Twitter. Just do that. That would just make me feel good. If you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it. I really would. Pikmin 4 is a real game. It actually came out, and I did something interesting for the launch day, and I think I want to do this from now on when it comes to games on the launch day, is if a very notable first-party Nintendo game is coming out that week, because I stream on every Friday, and for the most part, Nintendo releases all of their big games on Fridays, and so it's just like the perfect opportunity. I'm going to take the day off work, and we're going to do an AM launch day stream and then a PM launch day stream. So we're going to be doing one in the morning and then one at night. I did that for the first time with Pikmin 4, and god damn it, I love Pikmin. I love Pikmin 4 so much. It's what I can only describe as Switch era. It's just a game that's just quality. It's just a fucking quality video game. It's this weird thing where it's like games with new releases on the Switch, and I'm thinking of like old series that are getting new, like they're finally getting a new release. So like Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Luigi's Mansion 3, Metroid Dread, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, like major first-party releases that are being sold for the Switch. They're not the most memorable, but god damn are they quality. It's the same for Fire Emblem Three Hopes, or not Three Hopes, Fire Emblem Three Houses. Three Hopes is fun, just not what I was thinking of. What's the other one? Xenoblade Chronicles 3? Like the not 2, but 3? Like it's not really a memorable thing where I'm like, man, are there any like really cool memories I have with this game that immediately come to mind? Not really, outside of the fact that I remember playing this game and loving the quality of the game. And it's just, Pikmin 4 is that. It's just that. And I'm really happy I played the original Pikmin before Pikmin 4, because goddamn, you can notice the quality jump, and I feel like it makes me appreciate the game more. And I'm not telling people to, buy Pikmin 1 plus 2 on the Switch for $50, so that you can enjoy the $60 game. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, my perspective going into this is playing the Pikmin 4 demo, really fucking loving it, and then playing Pikmin 1, and then that gave me even more appreciation for Pikmin 4. I'm not done with it yet. As of recording, I have 100%ed the first 3 areas of the game. I don't know how far that is. I don't know if I'm like right at the end and I don't know it. I hope it's not just 4 worlds. I really hope not. Man, I already feel like I'm approaching endgame, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I feel like I haven't done enough yet, but apparently I've already dived in like 15 to 20 hours into the game, and so I'm like, oh. Well, I mean, there's always going back to Mario and Rabbids. I still need to play more of that, by the way. I got back into it, had a good time, and then Pikmin 4 came out. But man, Pikmin 4, I can't really describe it. It's just like, yeah, it's just like that Switch era quality that I'm just seeing nowadays with first-party Nintendo games. No, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is not first-party. It's technically second-party, so my point still stands. Just like the major first-party releases for Nintendo games, it's just that major first-party quality that I just get from the Switch, and it's like Luigi's Mansion 3, very quality game. That one I beat in a day. I beat it in one day, but granted, I spent all day playing it, so that doesn't surprise me. And I'm worried that I'm gonna do the same with Pikmin 4. I'm really worried, because I feel like I'm already at the end of it. I'm gonna play more of it right as I finish recording this, so... God damn it, probably will. But man, dude, it's a good game. So pretty much it's the same thing as Pikmin, except the premise is Olimar, the guy you play in Pikmin 1, the guy from Smash, you know, Alamin, oh my god, you know, Olimar from Smash. They made a GameCube game based off of Olimar from Smash. It's awesome. I can't believe they did that. He came out on the Wii, so I don't know why they made a GameCube game based on Olimar from Smash for the Wii. That's kind of stupid. It's kind of backwards thinking. I don't know what they were thinking then. God damn it. Pikmin 4 is you have to rescue the rescue team that was sent to rescue Olimar from Pikmin 1. Not to mention, like, a bunch of other people that just got Olimar's distress signal and decided, yeah, this place seems cool. I'm gonna go there. Like, there's like a school that's going there. There's like a film crew. That doesn't surprise me. But still, it's like all these people just like heard the distress signal of a man that was like, I am dying on this planet. Please send help. I am probably going to die if no one helps me. And then there's just like this school that's just like, that seems like a great place to go on a field trip. And that's not exactly how it goes, but that's why the rescue team is there to rescue Olimar. You're a part of that rescue team, but you weren't sent out. And then next thing you know, the rescue team for Olimar gets stranded as well, and so you're like, oh, now I have to rescue the rescue team, and then also rescue Olimar, and then also rescue like the 30 other people that decided to come here, and also get stranded. Gameplay-wise, it is probably outside of Hey Pikmin, it is probably the Pikmin game that like greatly differs from like one simple thing, and I think I've said this once or twice when we found out that the game came out, and it was, holy shit, a new camera angle for Pikmin changes everything. Because in the first 3 Pikmin games, it was always a top-down camera. But this game is actually kind of a third-person camera. At the very least, you can control the camera. And this allows the game to actually build the worlds with a lot more depth, because they had to originally build these worlds with like understanding, okay, you only see these characters from the top down. We can only put stuff in places that are easy to find from a top down angle. In this game, I feel like in some places they have taken advantage of the fact that you have control over the camera, like actual control. One neat little touch is the third world is a water world. You have to go underwater to find some stuff, like fight some clams to get their pearls. Cool stuff. In that area, when you go under the water, your character can go under the water, and then when the camera goes under the water, it makes a splash sound, and it is one of the coolest small little things I've seen in a video game in a very long time. It's like a nice little touch. And I really like it because it's just like this, it's just that little like attention to detail. I think it's really cool. But yeah, you're exploring, it's the same thing as like every Pikmin game, but you also get to like explore houses, and caves are back from Pikmin 2, which were in Pikmin 2, they were like these small dungeons, and they were randomly generated. In this game, they're not random. They're the same, and every time you go in, which is super nice, in my opinion, of course, but you just explore these caves, and they're just like mini levels of puzzles and specific like new enemies and new puzzles and new collectibles to get, and you just kind of get to explore these areas, find secrets, and get treasure. It's super cool. And yeah, you're just walking around, going into these tunnels, getting the treasures, getting castaways, and rescuing the rescue team, doing all of that, and then while you're out in the main area, you're under a strict time limit, which you always are in Pikmin games. You start at sunrise, and then you stop at sunset, and that's like the amount of time you have. That's like a few minutes, and so the idea is to strategize and try to cover as much of the map as possible. There is no day limit They scrapped that shit like as soon as the sequels for Pikmin 1 came out. Pikmin 2, no day limit. Pikmin 3, technically a day limit, but not exactly. They did a different thing, and if I ever play Pikmin 3, if I ever play Pikmin 3 again, I might talk about it on stream, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to. But for Pikmin 4, there's no day limit, but you still have to do what you can to make the most out of your days. And that's that whole idea of, okay, I want to beat the game in as few days as possible, lose as little Pikmin as possible. Speaking of which, the first game, 3 Pikmin types: red, yellow, blue. Red's for fire, yellow is for throwing things higher and throwing bomb rocks, blue, going underwater. Very simple structure. The 4th game has a total of, well, I have to count. I think it's 6, technically 7 Pikmin types in the game. The first 3 that I talked about, red, yellow, blue, there's ice Pikmin, which can freeze water, and they can also freeze enemies, which is super cool, and it's super cool to strategize with that. You have the glow Pikmin, which are only exclusive at night for night missions, and glow Pikmin are probably my favorite Pikmin now, outside of rock, which I'll get to later. We'll actually get to night stuff later, because that's a whole nother thing. You have purple Pikmin that are really strong, 10 times the carrying capacity of regular Pikmin, and so they're just nice for carrying stuff, good for hauling. And then there's also, they do a little ground pound, and they're really strong. That's the whole idea of purples. Whites are really weak, but they're poisonous and faster. You have winged Pikmin, which can fight better in the sky, and they can do that. That's really cool. They just fight stuff better in the sky, and then also they can more effectively carry stuff because they don't have to follow a specific path. They're carrying something in the air, so they don't have to worry about it. You have rocks, which are kind of similar to purple Pikmin, except rocks can break a specific barrier. That's glass. And yeah, they're just really strong when thrown, not when they're charged, but they have a really strong throw. They do more damage because you're literally stoning monsters. And then you have glow Pikmin, which they have no weaknesses. They technically don't count as deaths if they die. And then also when combined, they can make a giant, spirit bomb, which you can throw at monsters. And it's awesome. I love ghost Pikmin. They're ghost Pikmin. They're glow Pikmin. That's their name. But they're ghost Pikmin. They're ghost Pikmin. They're ghosts. They glow, but also ghosts can glow. They're ghost Pikmin. I'm sorry. They're ghosts. End of story. But yeah, you just use these Pikmin, use them in the right situations, use them in, and also making your own custom mixture of Pikmin to get collectibles as fast as possible, as efficiently as possible. Maybe there's a situation where you need, let's just say reds, rocks, and purples. You get the rocks to open specific barriers, attack enemies faster, and then you use the reds to carry stuff, and you have the purples for fighting enemies as well, and that's going to more effectively carry out the day, while maybe in another scenario for another day, you need yellows for the higher up enemies. You also get some winged Pikmin for that as well, and then you also get white Pikmin so that stuff can get carried out faster. It's there's so many combinations, and it's super cool, and there's so many collectibles, and some of the collectibles even provide buffs. There's a currency that you get, which then you can buy as permanent upgrades for you and your second character Ochi, which is a dog, which has his own thing where he can attack, he can carry stuff, he can do a whole bunch of stuff that your main character can't do. And so even on that end, you have to figure out, okay, do I want to split your player character and Ochi? Do you want to split them to multitask, or do you want them together? Do you want to send Ochi out to this thing because he can actually jump to get to stuff, or do you want to send the player character because the player character can charge and the Ochi can't? The sky's the limit with what you can do, and I feel there's so many different ways to just multitask, and there's multiple different ways to access stuff, and that's what's probably going to make me play this game over and over. The game overall, not to mention, okay, real fast, night battles are pretty much they turn the map that you explore in the game into a pseudo tower defense game, where now you have to multitask in order to defeat monsters from attacking your base. And you either defeat all the monsters or survive until sunrise, and then you get a currency, or you get like a special thing after those missions, which then allows you to gain access to newer things. Let's just say that without spoiling it, and super fun. It's weird to think that Pikmin can work in a different genre, in a sense. If anything, it's like it's a different mode, or it's just like a capture the flag thing where you're just defending your base so that they don't destroy your... It's like a base protection kind of... It's tower defense is what I like to think about it. It's super fun, and I really, really like night mode because it's a very welcome change, and it's really fun. It's just super fucking fun. It's fun. And again, that goes back to what I was saying about modern first-party Switch quality, like those games. At the end of the day, the first thing that comes into mind is that this is a high-quality game, and it's super fun to play. And that's it. That's all I want. That's all I need. Definitely will come back to play some of those again. Like I did that for Luigi's Mansion 3. I played it, finished it, loved it to the point that I was like, okay, I'm going to play it again, I'm going to 100% it. Pikmin 4, I was like, well, I'm just going to 100% this. There's nothing I can... Like, the whole... I feel like you can't play a Pikmin game without 100%ing it. Like, seeing everything your first time through, I feel like that's necessary in order to truly enjoy Pikmin 4. Unless you're speedrunning and wanting to min-max everything. In that case, nah, you're good. Like, in that case, you're fine. You're fine. But man... Pikmin 4, it's just good. It's just good, clean fun, and I like it. It is a 5-star game, hands down. There's just, I think, a few complaints I have with the game. One is the player creator. Your character is customizable to be whoever you want. One really neat part is you unlock a castaway that once you rescue them, they will let you redo your character creator. Like, you can redo the body shape, skin color, all the stuff. You just get to remake your character. You just get to re-roll, and you get to change the name as well. And so something I wanted to do is I wanted to play a personal file. I wanted to take my current progress of what I did on the stream and then carry it, and then like copy that file, put it on a new file, and use that as my personal file. And then I would just like change my character to be someone else. And I was like, oh, I probably can't change the name though. You can change the name. They just let you do it. They just let you do it. Like, one of my favorite things about games is like the customizable character, but then when I want to try something new, I'm like, well, damn, I can't change the name, so it's just gonna be fucking weird. No, in Pikmin 4, you can make whoever the fuck you want, and it doesn't matter. And like, whoever the fuck you want, whenever you want. If you want to make John Grapes at the end, which is a reference that only people that saw my Pikmin demo stream on the demo showcase, they'll only know that. It just, the character creator's fun. My only caveat with the character creator is that it's pretty thin. It's pretty basic. It's not good. I don't like. It's not that it's not good. It's just that it's very bare bones, it feels. But it's also we're in an age right now where character creators are like super in depth, like Street Fighter 6, Elden Ring, like Animal Crossing to an extent. After a few updates, it was really good with the character creator. I think even base New Horizons was super good with the character creator. Also, that game, in my opinion, is like one of the only exceptions from first-party games just being really high quality. I don't think a game that needs like 10 updates in a year to actually be good is considered a quality game, in my opinion. That's just me. But whatever, it's good. Super good. My only other complaint with Pikmin 4, and it doesn't affect me with my current playthrough, but I can see it being super fucking annoying. Co-op in Pikmin 4 is basically non-existent. It's just not. It's just not. Literally, all that Player 2 does in Pikmin 4, it's literally just Mario Galaxy Player 2. Like, my younger brother is holding a controller, and all they can do is literally throw pebbles at monsters, and that's it. You have 2 captains in the game. Literally let them play the dog. Let them play the dog. And I know the dog is not at the actual like capacity that it can be playable until like a little bit later into the game. but literally what you can do is just be like, oh, you just have to get a little farther into the game to unlock co-op, and then once the dog is able to be like, once you're able to play, because the dog needs to grow up to a certain extent in the game, and it's like after like day 3 or 4 in the game, before Ochi becomes switchable, where you can like change control from the player to control Ochi. Literally just be like, oh, now that Ochi's all grown, now you can play co-op. Now you can split screen with your friend, and one can be Ochi, one can be the player character, and you guys, and like literally what'll happen if the player needs to ride Ochi, Ochi controls, the player throws Pikmin. It's not that fucking hard. I don't know why they didn't do that. That seems so simple. But again, I'm not playing it, so it doesn't affect my current experience with the game. But objectively, that is really fucking stupid. I don't know. Still a 5 out of 5 game. 5 stars. 5 stars. I really like it, chat. Ladies and gamers that are listening to my podcast, I really like it. I really like it. It's good. God, it's just good video game. Fuck. We're already at the hour limit. We're already at the hour mark here on the podcast, and so when it comes to the mobile games, I will be really quick about them because there's not really a lot I want to say about them. I'll just give like my star rating, and then we will have a few notes, and then that'll be it. But again, I don't want this podcast to be too tremendously long this month, because not a lot has happened. Honestly, not a lot. And so I just want to really quick, because again, I am in support of the writers and actors during the writer strike. I'm not going to talk about movies until some form of agreement is made. It's not going to do anything. It's just a personal stance I want to have. Let's talk about just 3 quick mobile games that I've played, because yeah, I've been playing mobile games. And again, it's because I just want to use Twitter less. Even if I use Threads like once in a blue moon, and I watch YouTube like way too much, like mobile game, it's just a nice change of pace, and also it's a good excuse to not use Twitter, which is always welcome. Always welcome. The first mobile game I want to talk about is a game called Alter Ego. This is a game that I found out during a YouTube ad when I was watching YouTube, and it was a game that when it was advertised, it was a game where it was like a personality quiz. You had to answer questions, and then I found out through the advertising by looking into the store, because I was like, what the fuck is this game? It is a mobile game. It is an idle clicker, but then while you're upgrading your clicker, you can also buy story events, and then you buy the next chapter in the story, and sometimes you do personality tests to learn more about you, which is super cool. I've always been fascinated with personality tests. I don't know what it is. I just like learning about myself, and I guess just learning in general and self-reflecting. If you watched the members only episode, which, okay, I guess I'll plug that. If you want an extra episode of the podcast, consider becoming a member if you're financially available to do so. The $5 tier is the one where you get the extra episode and members only Discord. This month I'm actually going to be talking about my experience with game collecting, so if you're interested in that, consider becoming a member if you're financially available to do so. Not to mention, you'll just get 2 free episodes of the podcast that you get to listen to right now outside of the other extra episode that you're gonna get today when this comes out. So, just saying, the members only episodes are YouTube only. Sorry, Spotify listeners, but again, I don't know how to make exclusive episodes on Spotify, so send me that Linus Tech Tips guide if you know how to do it. Please let me know. But yeah, it's just on the members only episodes, I tend to be very self-discovery. I like to talk about my own self and my own mental health a lot, and so yeah, it's like personality quizzes are very interesting, and then finding out that personality quizzes combined with choices you make in the story affect the ending of the game. I've never seen a game where a personality quiz affects your ending in a video game, and it's super cool. It was a game where it was a very idle, it was a really good idle clicker, in the sense that I was every day wanting to upgrade and upgrade just so that I could get the next story beat, just so that I could take the next quiz, just to see how the story unfolds. I kind of wish, honestly, I feel like that's the new bar for me when it comes to a idle clicker game. I don't really like the idle clicker, but I feel like if the idle clicker is used to, if it's used as a vehicle to like progress the story, then I think it's a lot more worth it, if that makes sense. Also, the art style, very monochrome, it's very interesting. It's very like weirdly gothic. Is that a good way to put it? I don't know. It's very monochrome, very gothic kind of look to it. And I mean, like, the whole point of the game is taking personality quizzes and talking to your alter ego to figure out how the story ends. As far as I can tell, there's 3 endings to the game. 2 bad endings and then a perfect ending, which is super cool. I will say, the endings, once you realized what you needed to... You could realize the 3 choices for each ending once you realized that, yeah, no, depending on your choices. Like, I was just answering them truthfully the first time I got a bad ending, and then I was like, okay, let me just listen, let me try to get the other ending. Found out that was a bad ending, and then when I looked for the 3rd time to get the perfect ending, I realized how really easy it was to be like, oh, okay, now I see what's like the good choice, the bad choice, and the other bad choice. It kind of sucked. It kind of sucked once I realized that, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine, I guess? I don't know. The endings were a little disappointing once I realized how easy it was to get them. But still, the whole game itself, I was still playing it. And there was one night that I stayed up until like 2 to get the 2 in the morning to get the other 2 endings, because I was like, oh, now I'm hooked. Now I'm hooked. Like, there were moments where I was like genuinely hooked, and the only times it ever gives you ads is like on the bottom bar, which you can barely pay attention to, and then also the other ads are like, do you want to make like 3 times the money in like 10 minutes? You want to, okay, just like watch this ad. And I was like, okay. Do you want to like earn this much currency? This will like let you get to the next story segment if you just like, you know, just like wait for 30 seconds, just play some music in the background, just let the ad go through. And so I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And it was like, yeah, same thing. Ads were only used, I was only using ads to like, they were like super non-invasive. It was super optional. So like I could have just not done any ads if I wanted to, but I did. And so I did. It was actually really fun. And again, it's like, I don't play a lot of mobile games simply because, again, mobile games just have this really shitty culture around them where it's pay to play. It's, you know what it's pay to win, in the sense that it's not pay to play, it's free to play. Free to play, pay to win. It's that scenario where you'll play for a while, it gets really addicting, and then suddenly you're hitting this giant roadblock, and then you can either play for a solid week to make like an inch of progress, or you can pay money and you can just not worry about it, which is annoying. It's a bit annoying. I only do in-app purchases for a game I'm really into, and even then it's like $5, maybe. I did that with like Pokemon Go a few times so that I could like get a few Pokeballs or get some like neat little cosmetic, because I was already like playing it for a straight month, so I was like, $5. Yeah, it's fine. But with ads on Alter Ego, not that bad. Not that bad. And so honestly, I rated I'd rated a 4 because the endings were kind of easy. Once the illusion was kind of shattered, it kind of sucked. And also once I realized the personality quizzes didn't matter at the end of the day, like you could have like made yourself look at like be the worst possible person, as far as I can tell, and then just have just make the right story choices, and then you just get the perfect ending. That once the illusion was broken, it was kind of eh. And then once you get the endings, the game's just kind of like done. More or less. It kind of sucked. Honestly, it kind of sucked. And so I was like, that kind of sucks. I'd say it's a 4 though for a mobile. Hi, my dog just opened the door like a goddamn velociraptor. You asshole, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm sick and tired of your dirty business. Go. Sorry about that, my dog. Honestly, 4 out of 5, 4 star, that's still good. 4 out of 5, still good. It's just not like an all-time favorite for me, but still, out of like the million mobile games that I've played before, definitely is like one of the top 5. I'm not gonna lie. The other mobile game I played was Pokémon Sleep. Pokémon Sleep, it came out like a few days ago, really new, and it's also one of those vaporware games, similar to Pikmin 4, where like years ago, Pokemon announced that they were making a game called Pokemon Sleep, and then they said nothing else about it. They showed a logo, and that was it. And so it was like a meme amongst like the Pokemon fans of like, is this even a real game? Is this ever gonna like actually come out? It did. And I played it. And in it, I mean, not entirely played it. It is okay. It's a game literally where you just like, you feed a Snorlax, you get some Pokemon, and then you go to sleep at night. You have to make sure the app's on. You have to make sure your phone's by your mattress. And you have to make sure that your phone's always charged because your phone's always on with an app on. And then you just let it like record some like sleep sounds, I guess. And then it'll rate your sleep score. And then in the morning, you like stop the sleep recording and it'll be like, okay, based on your sleep data, you're this kind of sleeper for the day. And then this many Pokemon will show up of that type. And you get to like recruit some, you get to just like watch all these different like animations of Pokemon sleeping, which is actually really cute. It seems like there's more than one like animation for Pokemon sleeping, which is very impressive for Pokemon, because if Pokemon is known for anything, it's lazy animations, in my opinion, in games. And so, you know, it's really cute. You get like these really cute little like 2D animations of Pokemon sleeping, and they're all in different ways. Like there was like a Weeping Bell that drooled poison, which I thought was just really cute. There was like a Doduo that I recruited this morning where one's asleep on the other one's keeping watch to make sure that they're safe. I think that is really smart. And again, that's just like, it's just neat little touches that you don't see in like an actual Pokemon game. That's why I hate Pokemon so much. All of the side content is vastly more interesting than the actual Pokemon games themselves, to me. I know there's so many Pokemon fans, but I cannot tell you how I've been so confused as to why I'm a Pokemon fan and I don't like the main games. It's because the side content's way cooler. It's just way cooler than actual just regular ass Pokemon. The side content's just better. Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Ranger, fucking Pokemon Coliseum, like that, they're just better. They're just better than actual just regular ass Pokemon. You know, with like the exceptions of like Black and White 2, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you know, like there's like some exceptions. But like all of the side content is better. Pokemon Rumble is better than Scarlet and Violet, in my opinion. And that game's a mindless like game. It's so fucking mindless. But I played that game a lot more than I did Scarlet and Violet, I'll tell you that. But Pokemon Sleep, there's a lot of like neat attentions to detail, but like the game itself, it's like Pikmin Bloom, where it's like it's kind of a nothing burger unless you're always recording your sleep data. With Pikmin Bloom, it's kind of a nothing burger unless you're going outside and you're like going on walks pretty often. That's about it. Like that's all that Pikmin Bloom's pretty good for. It's the same thing with Pokemon Sleep, where it only like it depends on you putting effort into it in the sense of you need to go to bed. You need to go to bed. Like you need to be a consistent sleeper. You need to do these things. And then I was like, okay, fine. That's okay. I'll do it. That's fine. just let me do it. Just to get like a few rewards. And I think starting tomorrow, I have to like change Snorlaxes or something to like a location where I'm like, oh, I can get these Pokemon at this location. So let's plop down here for the week and restart my progress. I think I need to play a lot more Pokemon Sleep. And by that, I think I need to have Pokemon Sleep on for a few more days in order to get an actual opinion on it. But right now, the game is super fucking slow when it comes to feeling like I've made actual progress in the game, because all of your progress in the game is based on your sleep and how much of a quality sleep the game judges it to be. And it feels like it even encourages you to take naps so that you can do stuff. And I'm just like, oh no. Oh no. So it's a slow game. It's a very slow progress game, which is kind of a shame, because I don't like that. It's like, okay, I would say it's like a blessing and a curse, because with Alter Ego, it was, it was really nice because I didn't have to like commit anything to it. It was a very like pick up, like upgrade my stuff, maybe do a story thing, and then just close it for the day, and then just do that. It was like a nice rhythm. Pokemon Sleep is doing that, but then like it's not one of those games where I can like pull it out when I'm bored and just be like, okay, I've got like 10 minutes to kill, I guess I can go to sleep? No, you can't really do that. It's not really possible. And so I don't know. Pokemon Sleep right now is a 3 star. That's still good. For those who don't know, that's still good in my opinion. I just feel like I need to play more of it. I feel like I need to give it a few more days to see what it is. It's good for the sake of like, it's a game that you don't need to like commit to, and it's not a game I'm like addicted to, which is like the last thing I want when it comes to a mobile game. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Again, a lot more attention to detail than Scarlet and Violet, so I'll take it. I'll take it, brother. I'll take it. Okay, I had like I had two quick things when it came to news, and like both of these aren't gaming news. I'll be brutally honest. It's just random fucking drama that's happened on the internet over the past month or so. For example, one of the biggest dramas, and I talked about it in the members only podcast from last month because it was like really fresh by the time I recorded the members only episode. It was that Facebook, or Meta, developed a Twitter competitor called Threads, and I signed up, I tried it out, and it's a lot nicer. It's just so much nicer than Twitter, and it's nice because I thought that Instagram was a lot nicer than Twitter, but I really wanted it's just that there's a lot less toxicity, or it's like, it's not like forced. I don't have to see a lot of toxicity on my feed. And I was just like, this is nice, but I wish it was text-based, because I like reading a lot more than I do seeing photos. I like a text-based social media. I like that. I like reading. And so that's why I've always used Twitter. Threads it still feels like it's a beta of Twitter, but man, is it nicer. I will admit, when I was starting out, I could see like the waves of like this genre of content that it's trying to feed me, because also there's no like, it's only a For You feed. There's no like only the people you followed feed. It's not that. It's not available on Threads.
Hey, it's Editing Gab, your one and only update on the whole Threads situation. I checked it out like literally yesterday or so as of editing, and it actually does now have a followers only feed. It's pretty much what you'd expect from a followers only feed. My only complaint with it so far is I don't know if reposts work in terms of the follower only feed. I do know it doesn't show replies. Excuse me. It doesn't show the replies of a person you follow. So like, it'll only just show their posts and then possibly their reposts. It doesn't show you posts that they've replied to, which Twitter does do, and I do kind of like that because you get to see more of the person in the way that they respond to people. And so Twitter, or I guess, no, I'm not fucking calling it X. Twitter still has that as an advantage, but also follow-up update, I have sort of retired my Twitter account. I don't really use it except to like just again keep an eye out for people I follow, just to make sure I'm not missing out on anything that I wouldn't just see in my YouTube community tab. But also, yeah, no, I don't really use Twitter that much. If you want, I'm not even using Threads that much either. It's a weird thing where now I'm in a bit of it's like a social media retirement. I'm not really using social media that much anymore, at least not nearly as much as I was before the whole Twitter X drama has happened, and I'm gonna get into that, and I know I'm kind of just like cutting myself ahead here, but still, it's just a neat little update that after recording, there is some context that needs to be said. So yeah, I'm wrong. Go figure.
And so like, I'll go to the For You page if I'm bored. But like, for the most part, if I'm going on Twitter, or I guess in this case Threads, all I want to do is just kind of check up on the people I follow. That's it. but Twitter's so fucking bad now. And it's like my only like substitute is Threads. And it's and here's the thing. Twitter over the past month has constantly, and I mean constantly, made the fucking worst decisions in this month alone. And like even today I found something new. But first, it was the reason Threads is now becoming popular is Twitter is limiting the amount of tweets you can see in a given amount of time, depending on how much money you're giving to Daddy Musk. Like I think it's like 600 tweets maximum for non-Twitter Blue users, which I've never been able to like reach. I don't know how people are doing it, but then again, I'm not an artist. I'm not, using Twitter for business uses. I'm not doing that. I'm very casual and I'm very I'm not really addicted to it. So I never got to it. But for those that do have to use it for networking, if they have to use it for all sorts of stuff, like use it for an actual professional use, Twitter has now become unusable. Also, DMs. DMs are now I think they're limiting the amount of DMs you can get. And also, they immediately set a setting where you can now only DM, it's like, you can only receive DMs from this amount of people, and they just, didn't tell you that this change happened, so, and then they recently today, cited that they're gonna be changing, they're just gonna be changing what the app even is. They're just changing the identity of the app, so it's not gonna be a bird anymore. Twitter's not gonna be the bird. It's not even gonna be called Twitter anymore. Elon just said it's going to be a design but with an X on it. What the fuck does that mean? He's just going to make X. It's going to be like Twitter X, or it's just going to be social media X, because apparently Elon likes to make things futuristic.
Another update that happened to this is that, again, by the time this podcast episode does come out, the change has already happened. From what I can tell, it's still called Twitter in some places, and I believe, again, this has been a whole debate and a half. If I just go to twitter.com, yeah, it's still called Twitter. Yeah, people are, there's immediately, the first 5 tweets are making fun of the stupid Twitter logo, Power Wash Simulator Twitter. More power to you. It's still called twitter.com. They can't change. Again, I'm going to go into it in a bit, but just to put context, by the time this podcast has come out, the slow metamorphosis into a way shittier version of a brand, it's so, and I don't think I say it, but it's boring. It's so bland. It's so lifeless. And again, I you know what? All things considered, that is what Elon is doing to the platform. He's draining the life out of it. So, you know what? If you wanted to give a proper name for a slow-dried husk of a social media platform, he sure picked the right letter for it, because as soon as Elon walked into that Twitter office, that website is just dead on arrival. I don't have hope anymore. God is dead.
I fucking hate Elon. I hate that, the one... Also, Twitter's just toxic. And, he doesn't understand how to make this platform even half decent. And so now my two options are, I'm at the point now where I only look at Twitter now just to see if people have made art for me. I'm not gonna lie. The only reason I use Twitter now, because I fucking hate Twitter now, is, again, to catch up on content creators. I don't even try to look at the For You page anymore, although I feel like I don't even see some, posts of people I follow anymore, which kind of concerns me. Twitter's just pay to use now. A fucking social media platform is just pay to use now, and that is so annoying. Is this not... How do people find this okay? That an app that Elon is trying to support free speech and use it as a platform to discuss and not be silenced by the mainstream media. How do you say that and then be also you have to pay money to even use the platform the same way it was 3 years ago, 1 year ago? How do you make options for a social media platform that were already existed that were already like a thing for free, they made two-factor authorization. You had to pay a subscription to use two-factor authorization, a very basic necessity that is now like necessary for fucking security. So unless you have Google Authenticator, you just can't protect your account. How fucking stupid is that? Like, am I not the only one that thinks that is the most like buttfuck ridiculous things I've ever heard? Like, holy farting ass, man. Like, I don't get that. I don't get that. And it's like every time I hear anything remotely new about Twitter, the more I'm just like, I'm probably just gonna delete my Twitter account. But that's a shame, because I'm just like, I want to see if people make art. Like, Twitter is the main way I find out if people have made art for me. And so I'm just like, aw. And again, if you want to make art for my account, click the link below. I have a link tree, and that shows all the prevalent social medias, all the sites that you can find my stuff that I am currently working on, like my YouTube, and that I even like put in a link to the post of my character reference if you want a reference to Kirb herself. Like, all sorts of stuff. And it's, you know, I might have to be like, hey, yeah, no, just fuck Twitter. I'm just gonna be on Threads, and even then I'm not gonna be on Threads that much. But that's the problem, is like all the creators I really like on Twitter are not moving to Threads. And so like I feel like I'm ransomed. I feel like I have to like bear with a shitty platform because people won't move. And here's the thing. That's not me saying that they should move, because at the end of the day, I don't want to move. I don't want to move my like social media platforms, but at the same time, they're not making this easy. They're not. Twitter makes a very valid argument for me to not use their own platform, but also the people that use Twitter are also like, man, I don't want to move from Twitter. And then also there's a lot of people that are like, if Twitter's gone, I'm just gonna die with it. Like I'm not gonna use it. I'm not gonna use it. And then I'm just like, damn it, fuck. So I'm heavily debating on deleting my Twitter account and just finally being free of this hell of like even having to like know what Elon Musk is ruining this time. So I don't know. I don't know. I just don't. Twitter sucks. Stop using social media, go outside, touch grass, or play Pikmin 4, or do anything besides going on Twitter. It's just not good. It's just not. I don't know what else to say. It's bad. I guess the last thing I'm going to talk about before I end this episode is the Colleen Ballinger apology video. I'm not going to play anything in regards to it. Look it up on YouTube. Colleen Ballinger is a music-based YouTuber, and recently for the past few years, she has been accused of potentially grooming minors. Yeah, I know, guys. A non-trans person grooming minors. I perish the thought. I thought only trans people did that. That's all I've heard. I thought only trans people groomed people. I guess I was wrong. I guess it's fake news or something. I guess that was like an over-exaggeration meant to, you know, not allow trans people to exist. I guess that's what it was. But yeah, no, she's been accused of grooming minors, and now that more actual evidence is in light, or in the sense the minors that she's groomed are now adults that understand that was wrong. Now she has been called out by multiple people now. Vastly, like, her career is like being destroyed, and it's her fault. It's entirely her fault. And her decision to respond to this drama is to make a little video where she does the little like YouTuber apology, inhale, exhale, and then pull out a motherfucking ukulele and make a little song called The Toxic Gossip Train. And she sings about grooming accusations, and she ends the song saying that she's just a human. Humans make mistakes. Humans don't, like, for years talk about children's favorite sex positions, Colleen. You were 30 years old, Colleen. You would think you would have known better by then, Colleen. Just not a good idea. And And that's the thing, man. YouTube itself has prepared me to like not be a dipshit. Again, this could be poorly aged. I don't know what the fuck I'll do in the future. I hope it's not fucking that, but I hope it's not pulling out a fucking ukulele and apologizing. But it's just I just don't want, YouTube itself and YouTubers themselves prepare me as a budding content creator. Please subscribe if you can. We're almost at 1.5 thousand subscribers. That would mean the world to me. It's fucking bizarre being like, man, what is going through someone's mind when they do that? I'm not saying anything new, by the way. I'm not. This is pretty much the consensus of what people think about this whole situation, because how stupid and how conceited are you that you think playing the ukulele and saying that the only things you've groomed are your 2 cats? How do you think of that? And the worst part, ladies and gamers that are listening to this right now on YouTube and Spotify, do you understand the worst part of this? When people made content, rightfully so, making fun of this stupid idiot, she decides to copyright claim videos with the music. What the oh god. I don't even know how to respond to that. I don't even know. That's God tier. That's a God tier response to your shitty response. Like, she is tripling the fuck down. She is like, okay, you guys want to talk about me and talk about how rightfully stupid it was that I decided to respond to grooming accusations with a ukulele. You know what? Counterpoint, I made the song. It's my copyright. Thank you for giving me money. This will help financially support me so that, once all the sponsors leave, I will be able to continue to groom minors and keep funding my tours. I'm going to steal your money that you rightfully made, with creative liberties and all that stuff. Colleen Ballinger, like, did she think that this was going to make her look better? Did she think that was going to make her look better? Did she care that it would make her look worse? Is she okay? Does she need a hug? Preferably from an adult? I don't get the internet, man. It makes me very happy that my only hardcore interest is Nintendo games, because god damn it, I hope, god, it's, how does it even get even remotely close to that point, huh? How do you start a group chat with a bunch of little boys and girls and be like, sex position, your favorite? Yes or no? What do you think about that, you little kids? How about I mail you panties and underwear? That's a good idea. What the I don't get the internet sometimes, man. Ugh. If there's a moral to this episode of the podcast, the moral is play Pikmin 4 and Elon Musk is stupid. That is the nicest way I can say that without getting demonetized on YouTube. Big fucking stupid boy. And the fact that someone decided to wait months of their life to give him a hug. I hope you contracted a disease from that. And also I wish Elon Musk had a disease. Your trans daughter disowned you for a reason, you disgusting human being. Also, please support the writer's strike. There's a lot I'm very passionate today. I'm trying to keep the episodes relatively short. And so, but yeah, no. All in all, let's you know what? Let's try something new. Let's do a little rundown of what happened in this episode of the podcast and kind of reflect on how we got here. Well, we thought that the writer's strike should support it. Fuck billionaires. All they do is take your money and then just fuck them. They just take your money. They take your money and then use that money to make sure you make less money. that so that they can take more money and then, keep that going on. So fuck billionaires, fuck CEOs. Support the writer's strike. Zelda, I have now finally played a part of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom that I find at best okay. Pikmin 1 is fun. AI should be better. Pikmin 4 is great, but just a little bit of a better character creator, and co-op is just a sad disappointment. And then we talked about Alter Ego, which is a fun idle click game. I do recommend it. It's just once the immersion breaks, it's kind of disappointing. Pokémon Sleep is fine. I feel like I need to play more of it in order to really dive deep into it. And then Twitter, don't use Twitter. Don't use Twitter if you don't have an actual reason to. I think the only reason I would have Twitter now is just so that people can fucking post art for my channel. That way you don't have to make an Instagram account to make a Threads account. That's dumb. I didn't even get into that. Maybe we should I think social media should just not exist. I think my only social media now will be my YouTube community tab. Who knows? And then, yeah, fuck Colleen Ballinger. Toxic Gossip Train is actually a bit of an earworm, though. One, because of the pure shock factor, and also because I guess she faintly understands how music works. So, you know what? There's that. At least she has that going for her. I don't know. I'm rambling on. I apologize if this podcast was a little more woozy. I think that's a good word for it. Woozy. I tried to kill a fly for the first half of the episode, and then also I'm not feeling good. I'm tired, and so I apologize if this wasn't the hardcore quality podcast experience you all were looking for, but hopefully this is just some good white noise to put in the background while you did stuff. How about this? I'll end this off with this. It's really funny, but someone described my content when listening to my Pikmin 4 stream. They described my content as freeform jazz, and that it is some of the most relaxing content that they have ever watched in a while. Also, for some reason, some of you guys think I'm the best YouTube streamer out there. That is insane. I don't know what to think about that. It's not even a stroke my ego thing. It's just are you sure? Are you sure? I haven't even put out Mario Party 8. Are you sure? I don't know. I do appreciate all the love and support you guys give me. Genuinely, I do. But yeah, I guess, yeah, we learned a lot today, and I apologize if this is nothing more than white noise to put behind you while you cook a meal or go on a walk. Please go on a walk. Please go on walks. Just please. Or put this as something, this probably will be something good to listen to while you go off. It's something to doze you off into sleep while you're trying to track your sleep score in Pokemon Sleep. I don't know. Honestly, let me know what you think about Pokemon Sleep in the comments, because I don't know how to feel about it. I really don't. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you so much for listening to the KiRBicast. Tune in next month while I talk about some more games, mobile games, I guess, or whatever the fuck. Not movies yet, unless the writer's strike comes out, and other gaming / miscellaneous news for the month. I'll see you at the last week of the month, as always, and yeah, man, I'm gonna go to bed and see if I can get an Ekans in Pokemon Sleep. I like Ekans. Snake backwards. It's really smart. I don't know if you knew that. But yeah. Consider subscribing if you would. Again, we're so close to 1.5 thousand, so I would really appreciate it. It's not that hard. It's a few 10 people. I would appreciate it. Pretty please. And then, yeah, if you're financially available to do so, consider becoming a member, because you'll get 3 extra episodes free, just right there available for you. So consider becoming a member on YouTube if you are financially available to do so. You'll also get a Discord. You can ransack it. You can give me some art there. Show me a meme. Show me a waifu. Apparently, we had a waifu for the members. It's a long story. It's way too much, man. I'm gonna stop. I can tell I'm rambling. Solo podcasts, everybody. They're so fun. But yeah, I am going to end it here. For those who don't know what the solo podcast is all about, even though you've been here for an hour and a half, just a little refresher. This is the YouTube podcast that can't be surpassed, and the host of the show. It's the KiRBiCast.